You are in-house, Chris Maduka. Good morning, you're welcome.
Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Belinda. Happy World Food Day.
Happy World Food Day.
Easy.
I haven't eaten today, so I'm looking forward to eating today a little later.
Most Nigerians eat in their dream.
Nowadays, people say they don't see food in the dreams to eat again. I think the
Has it
spirits
gotten
world.
that bad? Even the Nigerian spirits are hungry too.
If you see food in your dream these days, gone are days when you would say,
sleep and
there's
The
a when you
Senate
see food
president
on
said, anywhere you see food, anywhere you see free food,
help
eat.
yourself.
And that is coming from one of the third man in the country, the Senate President Akpabio. He's quoted and is all over the press. He said, anywhere you see free food, eat.
I'm telling you.
So he's telling you that even themselves, the senators are also eating free food. So go ahead, eat free food. That's what, in this crisis moment, what the Senate President will advise 200 million Nigerians. Because in the era where you have opitos, you have parties, owambes, you have all those kind of things. Even people at times even beg people to eat food. Because at times you finish party, you find the West, some good-hearted people will think about sending it to some centers where you have vulnerable people. Sometimes they take it to the prisons. But these days, when you finish parties, even the takeaways cellophane, there's one that they said they banned because of cancerous, carcinogenic materials they used to. I think people eat it along with the food. So you don't even see them thrown around for people to pick up as waste. So it's that bad. And we're making joke out of it. But Nigerians, every rank and file of Nigerians, we are talking about people like us. We're not talking about our rulers in high places because they know how they shield themselves up. In these hard times, if I am working in a place where I'm sure about 35 million, by going somewhere, I sit down, sometimes I sleep, I wake up, and after a few days, I find a lot of 35 million or something near that in my account, in the name of being a member of National Assembly. My prayer point will be, God, thank you. Lady, I'm not asking for bag of rice to come down to 15,000 as it used to be, 12,000, 7,005. But the also is that I have, thank God I have the capacity I can buy. And that's what our prayer point, that's why it differs. Some of our people in high places, their prayer point is quite different from our own prayer point. And that's about that. So let's get marketers planned petrol import to bridge shortfall. Charles, as at the last count, somebody was saying, Nigeria, and nothing is like you are short of data to work with. Somebody was saying 60 million liters of fuel every day. That's what we consume. Minus plus. The one that crossed the border and down. And I'm saying, last time, Dangote was telling us that he produced up to 269 million liters per day or something. I don't know. But you can help me. Where, at a point, do we have shortfall?
Yeah, because Dangote has also said severally in his interviews with Bloomberg and other places that I have seen, he has said that his refinery can't serve Nigeria. That's the reason why he's even calling for subsidy to be removed totally. That he wants subsidy gone, and that's the only way you can actually deregulate the market. And I'm not too sure whether the government listened to him and took this decision to completely deregulate the market, or that there's something else that they are riding on. But be that as it may, Ipman is now lifting directly from Dangote. But I assume that the prices of fuel should be going down, given that they are now directly interfacing with Dangote. So I'm hoping that in the next few days, or maybe months, we would see fuel maybe down to maybe 800 or 850?
My worry is we are all concentrating on Dangote, and the marketers and the round robin NNPCL, they do. It's what they have completely and constantly want to get back to. If you are importing shortfall, you will say, locally we are producing 20 liters. Let's do the mathematics. Tell Nigerians, we need 40 liters every day. Currently, we are producing 20 liters. So we need to shortfall of 20 liters to import. It makes sense. Mm-hmm. But with this secrecy, and they talk among themselves to import shortfall, it's marks of insincerity and sleaze and graft. And it's still the same dog eats dog. That's all I see. It's my opinion. Let them prove me otherwise. How much let them come clean out? Because NNPCL has been in they control everything, so they should know how much have they been importing, how many liters do they import, and they spend the amount of money they told Nigerians they've been spending on subsidy. That each time you hear it, it's like mouth opening. And that's why even ordinary people are supporting removal of subsidy without even knowing what it is, how much we are subsidizing, how much we are importing. A country that does not know and cannot tell Nigerians how much crude oil they produce in a day. They only tell us OPEC quota. For 64 years, Nigeria can say on a daily basis, this is the crude oil we bring out. This is the one, the much we loan down. This is the much we are giving Dangote. This is the one we are selling. Whatever you are doing with it, come out clean. Let's know. They shroud it in secrecy, and then now it come out that this is what we hear. And they want Nigerians to believe them. I'm not speaking for Nigerians. I'm speaking my mind, reviewing this issue. It is totally unacceptable and totally bundle of lies. They're not saying the truth. They only give us half truth when it's convenient for them. Something is wrong. They still want to go back to the old days, even with Dangote refining in Nigeria, not to talk about their moribund 28 years old rusty refineries that are lying down there, and they sit down there. When they see any light, everybody will gather there and start saying whether you import. So let them sit at the side. Let Dangote tell us how much there is. It's not enough for Dangote to say, I cannot, nobody is expecting a single refinery to supply all Nigeria needs. Let's know the quantity we are importing to fill up. Let's know what it will cost us, so that when people are suffering, they will say you are sacrificed, that tomorrow will be better. They will know what they are sacrificing for. As far as we are concerned, all Nigerians, the pilots are flying blind, and the one Nigerians inside the aircraft. That's total suicide. Because if they are not flying blind, they should be open to tell us, where are we going? What do we gain when we get there? What do it cost us to travel from here to go? If all these things, let them come out clear. Let Nigerians can now see things by themselves and analyze. But all this selective discharge of truth is what brings whatever we are saying here, because most Nigerians are ignorant of what these people do, and whatever they are doing is painful to Nigerians. So it's not things I need to toy with. It should be clean and clear. My people say, if you remove flare from a dog, you better show dogs saying a flare remove from your body. Otherwise, you remove flare and you did not show the dog will bite you. No matter the good intention, show it to the dog. It's not I love the dog too much. This flare in your body, you put it. If you not show dog saying a flare, you remove for you, dog will bite you back because it has teeth. And that is what we are seeing about Nigeria. It's always like them and we and them. It's not supposed to be. Is it not Nigeria for us? This Nigeria, they kill, do anything to get to these positions of rulership there. And they get there is like, it's a sole business. One big entrepreneurship, Nigeria and Sons Limited. Then somebody is sitting down there, sleep and wake up and say things. So people around who are picking crumbs around the person's table will be joining telling lies they don't even believe. So as far as I'm concerned, let them go back to status quo. Begin to import fuel again, do round robin, and you are hoping the fuel will come down.
In the next few months at least?
What are the hopes? With these people going to import a shortfall?
No, I'm even shocked that they are even saying that Dangote is not producing enough to cater to Nigerians. I'm shocked. I'm stunned. But again, one thing is certain, it's just a matter of time. We have another refinery coming up by BUA Group. I think they're establishing that one around the south, Akwa Ibom precisely. And maybe with that, we could have something a little bit different so that it could be real competition, because it does look like NNPC is not going to come in to compete against that.
They give us room to believe that what they are doing here is they're just using Nigerians. There was one time, about 3 months ago, we sat here, we're talking about some refineries in Europe that have interest of Nigerians. How can they give up? Who among them has come and said they don't have a hand in it? That those refineries in Europe are owned by Europeans. They are free to be shareholders.
It's one way.
You, as a Nigerian, if you have money, you can invest it anywhere you want for interest. And you're a businessman, it's supported. But remember that business without conscience is Shylock. It's pound of flesh. So you sit somewhere, even if you own a refinery abroad or you have share there, or you are running it thoroughly, you come and take the blood of Nigerians to go to put in the furnace to fire your refinery, and you are smiling home, comfortable, and you sleep and wake up, and you call yourself a human being. I'm sorry. Because they would term my talk as that of a poor man who doesn't have anything. But then it's the poor people like us that are feeling the pain. If I'm in their class and I can buy anything in Nigeria, can still buy fuel, fill my tank at 1,500 or 700 naira per liter, let's the status quo ante remain. And God bless Nigeria. But with what is happening, and making more poor people out of Nigerians.
Really sad, I must say. On the Vanguard this morning, a highest authority ordered diversion of flights. I think it's the pilot that took Nigerian football team to Libya has come out to answer a few questions about why he diverted the plane to the location where it wasn't supposed to be. You can imagine going to a particular location and then the highest authority in Libya says you divert that plane to some other place and you cannot land in that location that you're going to. I can imagine the craze that came with that. And even when they landed, they refused allowing them to move out of the airport. And I hear that because of that, they spent 15 to 20 hours in that airport and they turned back to Nigeria. The Libyan authority are looking to sue Nigeria for leaving the country and returning back to Nigeria. They would have stayed to play the game, and it's just a funny situation. The Senate president have said that, look, we just have to do something about it. Protesting to CAF may not just be enough, but something drastic has to happen. Maybe sanction on Libya, or maybe some sort of fines against Libya or something, because again, I really
it's more than CAF. Like I remember I said yesterday, it's just no There's CAF is neither here nor there. They will want to play to the gallery. No CAF.
But to be fair to be fair to Libyans, they also released videos of how Nigerian authority treated them when they arrived in Nigeria.
No, we are not talking about that. If it's about revenge, they've got their pound of flesh. But if Nigerians feel much offended and want to do something about it, I'm saying it's beyond. I'm not justifying whatever Nigerians did to them. For whatever a man sow, you reap. Incidentally, the boys that are reaping this are boys who are comfortably in their comfort zones, playing their own professional football with no support from anybody. It's only this name of patriotism that invite them. Some of them with their own money, they pay flight to come to Nigeria, and you are flying them to Libya only to go and humiliate them. Some of them, if it's not because they are rugged, because of their sporty nature, it keeps some people who their health is in doubt for that 15, 20 hours, you might have some fatality. And they did that, and so authority diverted it. So it's very clear. They're showing video, it's pure case of retaliation. And they've had their pound of flesh. So it's now Nigeria highest diplomatic circle that will decide what they want to do with Libya. But remember, how many Nigerians that are stranded in Libya? Every day you find the IOM and the Diaspora Commission bringing a lot of, they started counting. They have passed over 1 million since the patches. They profile them and bring them back. The last count that came from Libya was over 400. And they started, so you can even see. So there are places you go, you want to throw stone. You have to be careful. That's why it says diplomacy. And you do the balancing game. You cut some part of the meat. If you are sharing it, put it on the bones, and cut part of the bone, put it on. It has to be a pure balancing diplomatic game. If you misfire, you have because Nigerians are everywhere because of hardship in Nigeria.
Sure.
Some people are trekking across the
Ocean.
Sahara Desert to get to Libya, and we see every day reports of people dying there, boys and girls. That's one story I had, and it's so pathetic. When they're traveling, boys will want to herd around the girl because it's only the urine of a girl will survive you in Sahara Desert in that number of days to trek. When you remove every other risk. So if you have water, they'll be giving the girl, because the girl is only the person who produces the water of life to sustain all the boys, and that's the girl's urine. It's not a joke. I've worked with NAPTIP, I've worked for IOM as a consultant, and we have done these things we call them, community dialogue on irregular migration. They don't call it illegal, it's irregular. People who are going about. So if you see the cost, if you want to know what I'm telling you, go to Europe, go to Benin, go to Abo, and quite recently go to Asaba. The number of Nigerians who are migrating by leg through the Sahara Desert to Libya. So if you want to handle diplomatic role with Libya, be careful.
Hold on a second. Is there a road from Asaba and Benin to this place?
If we sit down because by the time you say certain things, there are certain things Nigerians did when they began the issue of talking about cocaine and drugs openly. I didn't know whether it stopped people from taking cocaine and some drugs, or whether it escalated. There are certain things I will say here. The next morning you find your smallest cousin in the primary school. You will say he's missing. You will know he's on his way to Libya. There are ways.
From Asaba.
There are ways they get. There's a way the vehicle gets them from Nigeria to the Sahara Desert. They cross over. There's no stopping points, and you see the terrorists, how they hurt people in those trekking, in those animal beasts in the Sahara Desert. The risk of getting through. That some of them will start with about 50 people. On the other side, they hardly reach 10 that survive. So you go to the Sahara Desert, see human corpses litter everywhere, and these are Nigerians.
I can only imagine, I mean, how somebody would, you know, be in this situation that we are in. I mean, it's already a very dire situation, no doubt, but, you know, trading their own life almost in order to get to the other side. The risk that is involved, you know, the fact that you might not be able to access water, food, the essentials of life to cross over to another country. I'm just imagining the thinking and
it's
the thought
thinking
around it.
you can think, Charles, you can sit down here and you are anchoring a program on Signature TV. And I can see your coffee. When you are thirsty, you taste coffee. You can see her speak Oyibo. It was during the End Bad Governance thing that we were analyzing the situation. A woman was interviewed. And if you look at that woman, you think everything is okay with her. She said certain things that made me shed tears. He said, this thing I'm living is not life. That she's ready to do anything to get out of this country. I've watched your voices from the street when you ask people about the Japan syndrome. Some people say, if I have opportunity, I will not get back home. These are people you met in marketplace, and you are doing Vox Pop and saying, what do you think? He said, if I have opportunity now, I won't get back home to leave Nigeria. There are people when they are faced with, you say, all die, be die. Let me be making effort and die. And that's what some of them. They don't have any other alternative. There's so many Nigerians that have run into. There are some people that were before, when a one man is maybe have a job around them, you'll be carrying them. These emergency 2,000, 3,000, you don't know what it's doing to people around you. When they hear, they call you on the phone, brother, this, you don't know what life you are giving to people. It's only when you, as the brother that people call, cannot feed once a day, and you don't have those emergency 2,000 to give anybody. That's when you know the multiplier effect of this on the people. And when people are frustrated and dying. We discuss here, a woman was caught on Vera video feeding the baby with probably Gary they picked from, if the person is not mad though, picked from dustbin and then dipping it in gutter water and giving it to the baby.
Wow.
It can mess up your psyche if you begin to think about it. And some people who have not seen the hardship in Nigeria to that extent, I have no news for them. It will come. But before, it's like electricity. You don't see it. By the time they feel it, there will be no Nigeria. Let's begin to think. People are dying, they're frustrated, and this is the season in the country where there's no kind of story you don't hear of people trying to survive.
Truly.
So that's it. So again, if you have a point, and that's where even the scammers are now preying on the young Nigerians with promise to go abroad. They will do everything for you. These are syndicates. You watch them in Nollywood, you think they are not real. You see these things are real, where they recruit girls and they move them in batches, and they know how they sort themselves until get to those Sahara Desert, and everybody's on their own. They hand over to the people who will take over from that Sahara Desert and cross people over until the last bus stop. Nigerians want to leave Nigeria. And some of us who are talking here, they've said, we have been raptured. The other ones has gone. Now where they hear, they talk, they shout. If the way you are asking me whether there's a road track, that's why I did not release. I didn't want to release the information because Charles want to release the information to say in the name you are asking me question. So now give me the track road.
No.
Next morning, Signature TV will say, why did you do this to our handcuff? He woke up after your analysis. The man has jackpot through by road to.
But no, I still believe that no matter what Nigerians are facing right now, that should not give Libya the strength or the reason for them to subdue us or crawl over us like that.
It's not.
And then
it's
it
not
seems
everybody.
like you beat a child and still prevent the child from
No,
crying.
it's not. The Nigerians can go ahead and cry. They said, Charles said they want to retaliate. If they retaliate, they have it one-on-one. There are some countries that if you do anything to their citizen, they must have a way of showing back. It's not Nigerians, you deal with Nigerians citizens, do anything to them, they will speak in Oyibo, and until things are done. So if Nigerians has done anything to them and they did this, it shows Nigerians that next time you're dealing with Libya, you have to be very, very careful, because they will not want to take any they won't want to. 32% inflation is on. So the ricochet effect is what we are talking. Mm-hmm. So everything is, and Naira is among the worst performing currency. Mm-hmm. Who said World Bank?
Same World Bank.
Yeah. So we have to begin to see why Naira, and when did this worst performing thing start? If Nigeria, at what point it become worse? Because when we did the English, and there's this bad, worst. At what point was Nigerian economy Naira bad? Then it got to worst, and then get to worst situation. If they don't tell us, then we take it with a pinch of salt. It's well known. You don't need to tell us our Naira is performing badly. And if care is not taken, what happened? In some of those East African shillings days, where you change $1, you bring wheelbarrow to carry Naira, will happen. We need to check it. Let Naira not be like a free fall of oil price, refined petroleum price. Because if you get to that person, that means the last straw that breaks the camel's back would have been done. Then Nigeria there won't be any Nigeria.
National grid.
National grid collapsing 500 times.
24 hours. Second time in 24 hours. And I remember what you said yesterday. You said, for the fact that it can still collapse and come back, there's a hope. There's hope for survival. But now, Chris, it's collapsing second time in just 24 hours. Don't you see that we are moving, like you said, from bad to worst?
I will tell you a story that make you laugh.
Very soon, it will collapse completely.
I will tell you a story that make you laugh. There's a village near my village, and the chiefs are meeting. There's one particular one, they call him Azari. And when they were having meeting, he told their traditional ruler, who is presiding over the meeting, who was presiding over the meeting, he said, all the criminality that happened in this our community in the daytime, I am in charge. But for all the criminality that happened at night in this community, hold the other chief. And people were looking at themselves. So, for all these questions about technicalities and all, and greed, and we will have chance of bringing back either the KEDC or EEDC or BEDC people to come and tell us. Because I have limit to what I can say. All I know is that if the grid collapses and comes back and lasts us for another 1 year, collapse again. Our concern is collapsing in 24 hours, coming back. It means that whatever is making it to collapse is very close there. And they should find around it. PDP have resolved their crisis. Mm-hmm. Can we give them a round of applause?
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
And then the same Damagon is leading the campaign
to
Ondo
governorship election.
Then I'm saying, why doing the first thing last? Or the last thing? They do the first thing last. After they have, do you know if it's social media and you're following PDP, do you know how many people that will have defollowed PDP? So you call this one, and when are they going to get them back? So if PDP is on social media, we're following, 5 likes, 20, and then you wake up in the morning, they say, hey, wow, like PDP, this is the people, and like, when I'm looking for, what do you give me some hope? And the PDP, then solve the problem. So now, they begin now to build followership again. And before they know it, a new election will be there. The friends they lost and the ones they lost along the way of their crisis, where they're going to get them, they would have gone to the oppositions and other parties who are yawning, their mouth are open, looking for who they will swallow. So you are vomiting the one in your stomach and they are taking them.
But I don't know when they're going to. I believe they have actually resolved it. I think they just, keep it for the moment.
But they said, they said the headline said they have resolved. Don't put words into the mouth of PDP flags up Ondo campaign. They have resolved their National Working Committee crisis. If you know anything we do not know, you let us know. Because we are talking with what we have here on the ground. Then finally, on the World Food Day, when we are talking about it, you notice each time you talk about food, the two of your faces will be beaming with blessedness. I don't know where, is it the dream of the food that is making you people happy, or I don't know what, because World Food Day, with the cost of food in Nigeria, and most of these days, it's like Belinda will go, the go and search days and be reeling it out. Whether they make, very soon, you say World Coughing Day, World Coughing Day, World...
Cough Prevention Day, it will be Coughing Day.
But that's interesting. What 2009, FGN, 2009, agreement, federal government of Nigeria and us reached. In 2009, we are still discussing. Do a quick mathematics. How many years now?
2009 to 2019 is like 20 years. So it's over around 26 years.
Is it? 25.
25.
Is it
25.
And then you blame, and you think, I don't know, you think if a government that cannot keep an agreement for 25 years, and we are talking about agreement started in 2009, in 2024, that agreement has not been kept, and you expect these people to teach our children, anyway, teach our children, not theirs, because none of these people that have reneged on this agreement, their children, I swear that none of their children are in Nigeria. So it's like, whether now Nasabi, you see why Nigeria won't get better. In countries like Ghana, there's one, is it a drama or something I watched, about some youth. They came out and met a woman who says she's Minister of Education. And they asked her, where are your children? Said they're abroad. Say, you're a Minister of Education in Ghana. And your children are in universities abroad. Wow. And it was difficult. They were almost threatening to kill the woman. And they said, you are not qualified because you will not know what happened in the system. Your children can come back from universities and tell you what they suffer. Their lecturers are not teaching because they are not happy that the things are happening. That's when you, as Minister of Education, you can't be ministers in Nigeria and your children are not, their people are not seeing what Nigeria, they are not buying mudu of beans, 10,000 naira in Nigerian market. The children are not living in dilapidated hostels and they now have to rent house for them. You pay house rent where you're living. You go and pay house rent for near the school where your children are. It's in Nigeria, parents pay what they call sorting fee. It's in this generation I had. You as a parent send a child to university in Nigeria. And none of these children will come back and tell you they've seen president's child or cousin or the nearest extended or nuclear relation of president of Nigeria in any Nigerian university, of the Senate president, of the vice president, of the members of National Assembly, of the ministers. And they are here making policy for us. You have Minister of Agriculture who is a lawyer or something. You have Minister of Education, who is probably I don't know, another thing, not anything, anything education. They say it's political appointment. And they just sit down there. Anything goes. Nothing. They're not touching base. They just be reeling out English until their tenure is over. Most of them are passed through the positions in Nigeria and are still, whatever they are, watching Nigeria die. Let them come out and start writing their memo and tell us what they have done to contribute to the growth of Nigeria. And then what I'm saying also applies to our civil servants who work, some of them work for 35 years in Nigerian civil service system, waiting for retirement. During the day you are in service, people's pension are not paid. You are confident. Then when you retire, you are crying for pension. Some of them, even the pension, blood money of a fellow worker. You are there when you are mismanaged and went into oblivion. Either because the person died, the family cannot activate that money to get it to their, or something happened because the person doesn't have opportunity or fell into one terminal sickness, cannot come back to start pursuing the money, that money will go. And when it's your turn, some of them line up in the where they are, and my brother, whatever any man sow, that you will reap. This is natural law. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate your expert analysis on some of these headlines on our dailies. We keep engaging the system with a view to finding solutions to some of our biggest problems. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back shortly for some of our discussion segments after now.